Hello, gays. In a small town in England, there lived a quiet, hard-working boy named Henry Royce. He was not born into a rich family. In fact, his family was very poor. His father owned a small mill, but when Henry was still young, the business failed, and the family struggled to survive. Life was not easy, but Henry had something very special, a mind full of curiosity and a heart full of determination. When Henry was just 9 years old, he had to leave school to help his family. While other children played, Henry worked. He sold newspapers on busy streets, delivered telegrams, and worked long hours just to earn a few coins. But even in his hardest moments, Henry loved learning. Whenever he saw machines, tools, or engines, his eyes sparkled with wonder. He wanted to understand how things worked. At night, after long, tiring days, Henry would sit under dim candlelight and read books about electricity and engineering. He borrowed books whenever he could and taught himself everything he didn't get a chance to learn in school. Slowly, step by step, he became skilled at fixing machines. People began to notice his talent. One day, Henry found a job as an apprentice in a railway workshop. There he learned how engines moved, how gears worked together, and how small parts could create powerful motion. He worked carefully, patiently, and honestly. His supervisors noticed his dedication, and soon he earned their trust. Years later, Henry saved enough money to open a small electrical workshop with a friend. They repaired lights, motors, and machines. Henry believed strongly in one thing: if something is worth making, it is worth making well. He hated poor quality and rushed work. Every machine he touched had to be perfect. One day, Henry bought a small, noisy car. At first he was excited, but soon he became disappointed. The car broke down often. It rattled, shook, and felt uncomfortable. While others complained, Henry saw an opportunity. He said to himself, "I can build a better car than this." In his tiny workshop, Henry began redesigning the car piece by piece. He worked late into the night, fixing vibrations, smoothing the engine, improving the brakes, and making everything quieter and more reliable. When he finished, the car ran beautifully. It glided smoothly over roads like a bird in flight. Soon, people began asking about his car. Who made this, they wondered. Word spread quickly that Henry Royce had built something special, a car that didn't shake, didn't break, and didn't disappoint. Around the same time, there lived another man named Charles Rolls. Charles came from a wealthy family and loved fast cars. He owned a car dealership and sold expensive vehicles. Unlike Henry, Charles had money, education, and powerful connections. But he had something else too, a deep passion for automobiles and innovation. One day, Charles heard about a man who had built an incredibly smooth and reliable car. Curious, he asked to meet Henry Royce. When Charles finally drove Henry's car, he was amazed. He had never felt anything like it before. The ride was silent, steady, and elegant. Charles turned to Henry and said, "This is the best car I've ever driven. You build the cars, and I'll sell them." That day, a legendary partnership was born. They named their company Rolls-Royce, combining Charles Rolls's passion for luxury and Henry Royce's obsession with perfection. Their goal was simple but powerful: to create the best car in the world, not the cheapest, not the fastest, but the finest. Henry worked tirelessly in the factory, improving every tiny detail. If a screw was slightly loose, he fixed it. If an engine made the slightest noise, he redesigned it. He believed customers deserved excellence, not excuses. Their cars quickly became famous for being smooth, silent, and strong. Rich families, kings, queens, and world leaders began ordering Rolls-Royce cars. But Henry never forgot where he came from.
Even as his company grew, he remained humble, quiet, and focused on quality. One of Rolls-Royce's most famous creations was the Silver Ghost. People called it the best car in the world. It could travel long distances without breaking down. It ran so smoothly that passengers could balance a coin on its engine while it was running, and the coin wouldn't fall. As the years passed, Rolls-Royce didn't just build cars, they began building aircraft engines too. During times of war and peace, their engines powered planes that crossed oceans and skies. Their name became a symbol of trust, power, and excellence. But Henry's journey was not always easy. He faced illness, exhaustion, and countless failures. Many designs didn't work at first. Some machines broke again and again. But Henry never gave up. He believed mistakes were lessons, and problems were puzzles waiting to be solved. Whenever someone asked Henry the secret to his success, he simply said, "Take the best that exists and make it better. If it doesn't exist, design it." Charles Rolls sadly passed away young in a flying accident, but Henry carried their dream forward. He honored their promise to build the finest machines in the world. Even when the company became huge and famous, Henry stayed focused on quality rather than fame. Over time, Rolls-Royce cars became more than vehicles. They became symbols of elegance, success, and dreams. People around the world began saying, "This is the Rolls-Royce of," to describe anything that was the very best. But the most beautiful part of the story is this. It all began with a poor boy who sold newspapers and fixed broken machines under candlelight. Henry Royce proved something powerful. Your beginning does not decide your ending. Your money does not decide your future. Your school does not decide your success. What matters most is your dedication, your honesty, and your courage to keep going when life feels hard. Today, when someone sees a Rolls-Royce gliding silently down the road, shining under the sun, they see luxury. But behind that beauty is a story of struggle, patience, and belief. It is the story of a boy who refused to give up, a boy who believed in quality, a boy who turned broken machines into perfect dreams. And that boy's dream became Rolls-Royce, one of the greatest names in the world. So whenever life feels difficult, remember Henry Royce. From poor beginnings to powerful dreams to legendary success.